Hello, hello, hello. Let's get started here. That wasn't all the bones in my body cracking. That's not the sound of that. I got my coffee. I am ready. So, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Dungeon Talk. This is episode 11, if I did my math correctly. We are going to get started here shortly, but today is different because I am going to be doing some lore drops as well as writing out some stuff for the new campaigns that are hitting in May. Exciting stuff. So, without further ado, it's real sharp. It's real sharp. Oh yeah. My screen. So like, because my face is in front of everything that is light right now. I'm looking a bit sharp, but I'll shrink here and shortly when I switch over to the next screen. But welcome, Mixa. How you doing? How you doing, buddy? There was one other thing that they wanted to talk about. Okay, so exit gods. Just getting and the last things ready. I think there's one other thing I wanted to talk about. I look like I'm burning with the inner light of Nor. I'll take it. There could be worse things. I could be actually on fire. So, Gods of Power. Exile Gods. Vladimir. Blood Wolf. Curse. I'll do that as well. That should be enough. If I can think of anything, I'll add them in. But let's transition over to what we have for topics. As you can see, we have our lore drop topics. So as I'm writing about these two different campaigns, all of you in the chat can chime in with any of these topics of discussion, essentially, and I will do my best to answer them the best I can. But just to go over them, some of them is Exiled Gods, Vladimir Riviere, Gods of Power, and the Blood Wolf Curse, because that's a whole topic in itself. But before we get started, because I want to actually get these out, there are some recent followers that we would like to shout out. Thank you for following us here at Dungeon Mechanics. Starting off the list, we have Legacy of Raziel 5. Thank you for the follow. Stargazing. Thank you for the follow. One Tough Cookie. That's a really cool name. Thank you for the follow, One Tough Cookie. Mighty Sneeze. I see what you did there. And Gunzuntai. Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure if it's BJ McWhiney or BJ McWhinney 69, but thank you for the follow regardless of how the pronunciation is. Click Joker Spawn. That's a pretty cool name. And Electrodon. It's like a dinosaur, but like if it was electrified. I like it. And then also Giggle Fairies Thank you for the follow. Those 8 recent followers, thank you all for being part of the Dungeon Mechanics, as well as everyone else. Do not want to disclude. Here at the Dungeon Mechanics, we try our best to give you fun Dungeons and Dragons sessions that you can go home with. We're usually live every week with some kind of content. I think our last session was this past Saturday for Tales of Diademia, so look forward to future episodes. I know we still have a few scheduling conflicts, but other than that, we will try and get back to you with as much bang for your buck as possible. We do have a couple of sponsors. Our first sponsor is Plus One Crafting, which I can put that in the chat. At least I think that's it. Yes, I got it right. So Plus One Crafting is responsible for all of our awesome terrain that you will see in campaigns like Dawn of Diademia and Dusk of Accordia, which comes out in May, which is why this lore drop is going to be off the chain. But aside from that, they do amazing, affordable terrain. Look at this. This is rocks. Does that not look amazing? But it's made out of like styrofoam, I imagine. Sounds like styrofoam. They also did these awesome pillars. These are so cool. But yeah, essentially, and whenever I get my next box from Plus One Crafting, because I'm on a subscription thing, which if you click that link in the chat, you should be able to see their Patreon, which will allow you to do different structured, affordable levels, I guess is what Patreon does. And with that, you can tailor it to what kind of terrains you want to get, essentially. Yes, an unboxing vid. So the next Plus One Crafting unboxing, well, there hasn't been any unboxing videos, but the next Plus One Crafting box that I get in the mail, I want to do a unboxing video here on Dungeon Mechanics so that you can all see what kind of awesome stuff comes in subscribing to the amazing people at Plus One Crafting. I think they'll have a couple of different months worth of terrain pieces in there, so you'll get to see like a variety of stuff, and then I'll also showcase off the other pieces of the rock collections that I have, as well as pillars and stuff. So it should be pretty cool. Look out for that in the future whenever that box arrives. But yeah, Plus One Crafting makes adventures affordable, which is what we all need. Like, I know we can spend hundreds of dollars on miniatures and hundreds of dollars on terrain alone, but when it comes down to it, we just want to play the game. So yes, look forward to that. Our next sponsor is the Barkley Garage. Oh, I have to spell garage correctly. Garage. I put garge. Garge isn't a word, I don't think. The Barkley Garage is hundreds, thousands. I've used so much money on those things. Yes, I have spent like an insane amount of money on miniatures. Not even painted miniatures, just like out the box miniatures. Like it's insane. And then terrain, like I've looked up terrain in the past and it can get pretty pricey. So having things like Plus One Crafting can be very, very useful. Our friends over at the Barkley Garage are amazing. I work with them. They're cool. They do woodworking items, and for these 2 campaigns, I am going to be working with them to get custom dice towers made that have like the Dungeon Mechanics logo on it, and we're gonna work it in a way that it's either easy to put together, like right out the box, or like already put together out of the box. So we're gonna test a couple of different prototypes before we settle on a single one. After that, all of the players in these two campaigns to start will get their own dice rolling tower, which would be, I think, pretty freaking legit. Especially considering it's like custom, so it's gonna be cool. But yeah, look forward to that in May. We'll be able to show those off. Actually, I'll be able to show the prototype off as soon as we get like a functioning one made. But yes, at the Barkley Garage, they do a lot of different woodworking items, not just dice towers. They do cornhole boards. They do pretty much, if it's made out of wood, they probably can get you fixed up. So head on over to that link, hit them up in their messages, and see if you can get an order in today. They have their Instagram, so you can check through all their different images of stuff they've done in the past. And I'm going to work with him also and his wife to like maybe showcase off these amazing, in my brain, dice towers whenever we get those made, because I think they'll be a hit. We're gonna make them like custom stained, so all the different colors that are the favorite colors of the players, or like, you know, associated colors for the players, their particular dice box will have those stains, Dungeon Mechanics logo, probably some other stuff, I don't know, whatever we can figure out that also works. But yes, when that happens, I will be excited to reveal that as well on the Dungeon Mechanics. And our last sponsor, which I have to concentrate when I write this name because I almost always spell it wrong. But the music you hear in the background is from Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound is mainly known for providing royalty-free music to those who subscribe to it. So it's a subscribed-based service. However, once you subscribe, you are able to use their large assortment of music. Now, when I say large, I'm like, pretty much search it and something's gonna pop up. Like, something's gonna pop up. But they have tons of music, both with lyrics, non-lyrics, you name it. They have sound effects, they have sound bites. It's ridiculous how much stuff they have. Like, one of these days, I just need to go do a stream just of like all the different like moods, genres, vocals, duration. They got you covered. And this will cover you over your Twitch account, your YouTube account, your TikToks, your Instagrams, your Twitters, like any of your social medias that you use on the daily regular that, you know, they try to like ban you down with the music. Hit them up at Epidemic Sound and subscribe to them, because anytime you're playing any music from their list and you have it checked off in your like profile, they won't touch it. Like, I can't count how many times before we had Epidemic Sound till now, because since Dungeon Mechanics came out, I've been pretty much subscribed to Epidemic Sound, so all our videos that we started out here were good to go. But the ones that were like trickling off before would get like claim after claim after claim hit on YouTube of like, this has copyrighted music on it. You don't say. So it's been a lot easier since we subscribed to Epidemic Sound to like not even have to worry about music, because that's what gets people pumped. Like, if you're going in combat in Dungeons and Dragons, like if you have that good combat music, Epidemic Sound has you covered. Like, from epic to like sci-fi. Let me just tell you, you will find music that you're downloading and listening to just on the fly, because half the music's just amazing. Like, more than half, all of it. All the music's amazing. So those are our 3 sponsors. If any of them interest you, be sure to hit them up. Those links are in the chat. If at any point you need me to put them in again, just hit me up. I don't mind. But today we are doing lore drop topics of discussion. So if you want to know more about Diademia. So the reason I'm doing today's Dungeon Talk stream because it's kind of like not even on the calendar, which if you're in the Discord, we do release a calendar monthly that we try to stick to, but you know, until we fully transition out of this holiday 6th season, like until everyone's well again, like things are going to be a little bit wishy-washy, so stick with us. But yes, what was I saying about the calendar? We have a calendar, but lore drop. What's the connection to this? There's a connection, I swear. But oh yeah, normally I would have Dungeon Talk on the calendar. However, this month I didn't because I wasn't planning on doing any Dungeon Talks. But I was talking to Salty Stormtrooper Dave, and we were discussing about campaign 1 for Diademia, which was not streamed. And I don't know if I like this song, so I'm gonna skip it. See? Easy skip. Anyways, because when I initially did campaign 1 for my homebrew world, it was over in England when I was stationed over there, so we all just came to my house and we did the sessions, and we didn't worry about like recording any of them or doing any of that kind of like long-term prosperity. So all of that's just basically in our heads of what happened, and that's like left up to any of the players to kind of remember the stuff that happened. So by doing these lore drops, we can better help fill in the gaps, because even though campaign 2 for Tales of Diademia happens before campaign 1, there's still like a lot of open plot stuff out there. There's like characters that are important that nobody really knows about. There's just a whole slew of other stuff that unless you know, you don't know. So by having these lore drop topics, I can progressively write out stuff as well as talk about things. And I'm kind of going to see how this works, because as you can see on the screen, I have 2 different premise pitches that I have to write out, and I'm shooting for roughly 550 words a piece. And I kind of have the format, like I'm using Matt Mercer's format for his campaign 3 Critical Role that is due to stream again this Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, on their Critical Role Twitch channel and on YouTube. And basically I'm using his outline to kind of pace how I should describe this world, because I don't want to really give away a bunch of, you know, important plot nodes to the characters, but I want them to be able to envision the world that they're going into. And another part of our calendar, we are postponing our Quiet Year, which the important thing about the Quiet Year, which is a term that's used kind of to create worlds. It's a world building game that you play pretty much. But the Quiet Year for us was going to be skewed slightly to allow the recreation of Diademia, because apparently it's going to get destroyed here soon. So spoiler, not spoiler, but still a spoiler. But that's gonna lay like a whole new groundwork of interesting things, because then you have like what happened, what didn't happen, what's the deal. So that's gonna be interesting to kind of explore in these new campaigns. And then Accordia is pretty much the mirrored twin world to Diademia, and the only thing of importance that originally came from there was the Triperian Empire. And I know this isn't on the list of stuff, but I feel like it needs to be said. So the Triperian Empire used to be on the planet Accordia, and the way that they operated is mostly by dictatorship. So they kind of put themselves out there by saying like they were the best, you know, follow us. I'm not going to say who they sound like, but they kind of sound like some other dictators that have been in history. Anyways, what's important about the Triperian Empire is they advanced themselves technologically to a very, very high degree so that anyone that went up against them would pretty much be obliterated. So when they arrived in Diademia via time loop travel portal warping thingy, they wanted to do the same thing there. However, they were coming into a world that was very magic potent. So where the Triperian Empire was technologically, the people of Uvain within Diademia were able to kind of keep up on the magic side of things. So there was the whole dragon war thing, which Diademia used to have dragons, but then, you know, Triperian Empire came and they were like, we don't need dragons, we got cannons. So there was a lot of stuff that hasn't been played out in just campaign format yet, but there is a lot of different notes and kind of mentions back to other times. The thing that came from the Dragon War was, of course, Vladimir Riviere taking the bones from his brothers and sisters and making very powerful artifacts, which is the stuff that we're facing now in Tales of Diademia, is that these artifacts are going to be needed to take out Queen Midna, who, kind of like the Triperian Empire, is trying to make her name known all throughout not only Diademia, but like multiple planes of existence. So they kind of have to amp up their A game to hopefully stop her within the next coming months, because May's just around the corner, and we kind of have to stop that before we start something new. So that'll be fun to explore as well. But kind of feel like those types of things we don't really go into detail with on the daily in any given session. So if any of these topics, any of these lore topics that you want to hear more about, just put it in the chat, and as soon as I see it, I'll try and expand on it a little. But in the meantime, you lovely folks get to watch me type out a premise, which I have to start doing one other thing. So I'm gonna open up another window, and I am going to look up. What am I gonna look up? I am going to look up a previous email, hopefully, that I had, where I did the timeline. Okay, yeah. I just need to have the timeline open because I'm going to be talking about years and stuff, so... there we go. So I feel like all of this is going to be erased, which helps me plan for everything else. I do like how there's usually like some kind of big bad in any given arc. Like I think in Tales of Diademia Season 2, the big bad is Davik Alsatian, and we haven't even encountered him yet, and there's only like, what, 2 more episodes before things wrap up, so that's gonna escalate very quickly. But yeah, there is so much. And I might bounce around a little, kind of get both started here, but essentially we're going for 550 words, so whatever allows us to do that. So, okay, so in Diademia, they are going to start Purgatory. Then I'm going to have to copy paste this over to not only, I think if I put it in the word count, what is it? Whatever that app is that auto corrects words and stuff will kick in, so I can fix all misspelled words, because I can only imagine how many misspelled words I'm going to put it on here. So I'm not going to worry about that as far as preventing me from typing all of this out in one go. Our story begins in a land. It's not really a land, though. The year is, and then for this one, you you have been invited to the city of Valcrest. There we go. The year is, so these years are going to be different because they are based off of different outcomes. So if we're talking about Diademia being rewritten or completely reshaped and redone, you are going to come across the whole Triperian aspect of what happens if the Triperian Empire never came to Diademia. So that's kind of what we're loosely based plot working with here for the campaigns. Well, for Accordia at least. Dawn Diademia, because Triperian Empire hasn't been there, it starts to domino affect a lot of things, which we'll get into as well. The year is going to be, and I kind of want to make this a play on words. So this might change, but playing around with dates. So I will put, no, that's not easy enough to search. Nope. I'm going to put something completely out of the character map has all these cool things. We're just going to copy that and put it here. And then do the same here. So that I can go back and anything that I might change, I can change it. Barb Elf, hello. Welcome. This is quite interesting, my dear, because I am talking about stuff that is relation to you. Well, not even. You used to be part of this, but then things changed. So, if you want to watch, I'm not really doing spoilers, so you can watch it regardless. But this is stuff for the new campaign that's coming out in May. So we have Dawn of Diademia, which is probably going to air between 12 to 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then we're kind of facing loosely Dusk of Accordia airing. Well, they're both going to be on Thursdays, but it'll probably be either 6 to 9 or 7 to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And these are supposed to be weekly campaigns, so... Just when Stacks doesn't need more campaigns, what does Stacks do? He gets more campaigns. Howdy, Colin. How you doing, buddy? How's all my fate people are in the chat. I love it. It's great. Addiction. Yes. Oh, hello. Laura's here as well. But yes, so since chat's popping, I'm gonna have to fix this, because I feel like as I'm typing and the page goes down, you're not gonna see what the lore topics are at the top. So I'll probably paste that. But basically, this is me writing out the premise, which I'm going to try and post sometime this week to all of the folks in the Discord channels for these particular campaigns, so that they can get a better idea of what to expect for each one. And I'm kind of like switching my brain back and forth, because these are, as I was saying earlier, these are twin planets, but like mirrored from one another. So basically, I'm gonna get the map made, and then I'm gonna tell Chris to flip it, and then we're gonna change some stuff up. It's not lazy if it's unique. But most people don't know about Accordia, because like no one sat down with the Triperian Empire and's like, okay, so where are you from? Asking for a friend. Your Highness? This is the first time you've been on Dungeon Mechanics. I know you've been on Judgy for a bit, but welcome, Your Highness. How may I assist? Did I actually catch a Stack stream? Yes. Even though I'm actually at work, don't tell my boss. I didn't say nothing. Like, your boss can't get nothing out of me. I'm just saying. I'm not. Don't at me. But yeah, this is a chill, like, you know, I'll talk about lore about Diademia and other fun stuff. And I'll also write out 550 words per premise per campaign, so that the players will know what they're getting into before they really get into it. That's like the basic. So I have long-winded myself enough to continue. So this is going to be P. Post. I guess dissemination, or I could do PF. Post Feywilds. Maybe that. It's about to get another marker, because that might change. Actually, I just need to copy. Nope, just this. Because every time it's doing the space thing, that's going to get annoying. And then this one is going to be before. Okay, so we'll do BP, before plane shift. So the essential, and then I'll mark it. I think that one actually might stay. I have science running. I also have science running. I need chat to explain that more. What do you mean science running? Mine is running down an SDS page gel. Yours? What is happening? I need context to this. Before I start inserting dad jokes like, your science is running, you might want to go catch it. But yeah, that is that. Post divergence. Post favorite. Those are quick sentences. So for those that don't know, I am basing my premise off of Matt Mercer's premise from Critical Role Campaign 3. And I pretty much typed out everything he said. And then I figured out how many words it was. So we're shooting for like 550. Or we're shooting for it. And hopefully I'll have enough to talk about in both. Science Flex. Hashtag Science Flex. Oh, nice. I am just centrifuging bone marrow. Fickle process. I feel like y'all's jobs and extracurricular activities are far more engrossing than my mere... Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Kate. They're just out here doing big brain moves, all casual in the chat, and I'm just like, I'm typing about my campaign. Meanwhile, in the real world. Okay. It's fine. I'm not jelly. I really think I'm gonna change post Feywilds. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, but I don't think that's the... I think that was the like straw that broke the camel's back, but I don't think that's the reason why this got done. Should I be here or... So this is why I was telling everybody, Reaps. I am writing this out, hopefully spoiler free, so that I can, you know, put this in each of your campaigns respectively. And then it'll give you a better idea, because we were kind of talking about this also, Reaper. Me, you know, fleshing out the world a little bit more will make it easier for you all to make your characters and also intertwine it into the plot as you see fit. So, that's just that. I'm actually going to put this here as a key that if you see it, might change this part later. And I hate how I capitalize change. Okay, and then we're just gonna fancy highlight it and call it a day. There we go. Love me some Progenturg. Stop it. We can trade anytime stacks. Just separating and counting the sale. No, we can't trade. I'm not smart like that. I'm not that kind of book smart. Show up to the job like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Teach me. Just swap. Yeah, we'll all just swap jobs for the day and see how well that goes for the world. It's fine. Highness, you just have to work on aircraft. It's cool. Actually, no. I'm in a position now where I go out and I do inspections on the aircraft. So you just have to go and know if people fucked up or not. So, no pressure. Mine is coming from cancer stuff. Multiple... You'll breeze through mine. Sweet. So, we're going to pick a day and we're all just going to show up at each other's jobs. And it's going to be fine. It's gonna be like a really freaky Friday, like a worldwide Freaky Friday. that wouldn't be like the most best, weirdest, awesomest movie if you get like a bunch of famous actors. I feel like I'm not going to finish this premise on either part, but you get a bunch of famous actors who are all in these like really different jobs, and you just swap them. And I'm sure I didn't just pop in the plot for like Since 8 or anything. Hashtag not mad. But I think it could work if you do like a Freaky Friday premise, because some people's jobs are not the same as other people's jobs. Dips, cookie, and Nutella. You about to get us all right? Like, imagine people whose jobs are like really important, and then you put somebody that isn't in the right mindset to do that job in their body, but not knowing like anything about their job, and then they're just like, I press buttons and boom. We all don't work at the same job. Nope, we're all doing each other's job, and you wake up and it's random. It's like Quantum Leap. You're just, who am I today? I don't know. Quantum Leap Freaky Friday edition. All my planes gonna get golden stickers. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so let's see. He transitions into talking about. Okay, so I will talk about purgatory. An outer plane of existence that resides over a community of displaced people. Sounds very good. Given our past inspections, like they Girl Scout. No! Stop. Stop it, Highness. Stop it. Just be like, yeah, that looks good. And then you walk away and it's like leaking, and I can't. I'm like, I mean, it looks like an airplane, so it must be right? Bruh, that's my job. Don't care. Don't wait. Oh no. I can't. I cannot. I am not going to write Dusk of Accordias right now because I don't think my brain can switch that quickly. So we're gonna write about Diademia for a bit, and then once my brain stops, we'll swap them, and then we'll write them about Dusk. I got a process. It's not crazy and like completely over redundant, but here we are. Okay, Matt's out here with the descriptions. Your Highness, thank you for the subscription. Subscription. Wordplay. Thank you. Let's see. I feel like I sips coffee and plays WoW. Ooh! Kate's playing WoW. Imagine Highness wakes up and he's in Kate's body, and they're about to raid this camp in, I don't know how raids go. And everyone's like, what are you doing, Barbelf? And Highness as Barbelf is like, what do you mean? I'm doing a good job, yes. Oh, the shade. Ooh, if you are extra ready during sexy time, it is word foreplay. Nice. I like it. I don't raid. I just kill people. Oh, gosh. So you're all about just the PvP. But what happens when you PvP, but you don't know how to PvP? You just get killed, wrecked. I've only had it happen to me by like, I don't know, was it griefers? Like griefers? Who are the mean people that are super high level that go after the little knobs and they're just like, pa! One shot and you're like, I'm dead. So then your dead body runs to your body and then you respawn and they're like, bunk, you're dead. Yeah, griefers. Those little bitches. I hate them. I hate them so much because guess what, folks? For those that don't know, here's some tea. Free tea on the house. If you play WoW and you have the thing where you're trying to get extra experience by, you know, turning off the thing that prevents PvPers from being able to kill you, because, you know, you want to progress through the game a little bit quicker, they're going to find your ass and they're going to snipe the shit out of you whenever you're as soon as it gets to that part in the story where you have to like go into dangerous territory, that's where they are. And they're gonna pick you apart like nobody's business. And you're just like, I can't. And then you're like, I just need to turn in my quest. That's all I need. You can take all my money. I don't care. I don't have anything. But can I just turn in my quest? Yes, they reward people for being in war mode. Extra rep, extra. Oh my gosh, I can't. I cannot. I can't do it. So what happens for these poor little, these little babies that are just trying to like mind their own? They're like la 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 la, and then they're, you know, they die. They're like, one time I died, and I didn't even know, like, they must have been like a rogue or something. Like I don't even know how. I was just like, oh, and then I was in ghost form. Oh, nice. Wow. You know how hard it is. Because they weak. Nothing better than these keyboard griefers hiding behind their switch on switch off war mode feature. It's the best. But yeah, that's Screams and Barbarian. That's my experience of WoW. And I was playing with my buddy who knew it was gonna happen. Like he knew. He's like, we're about to get killed. So I'm gonna need us to go all the way out of our way around this thing just to turn. Like I could see the area that I needed to turn my quest in. He's like, no, we can't go straight there. Like they're gonna expect that. Have you ever, as a dead person, tried to figure out a way, like the area where you can spawn, where you won't get killed immediately, so that you can quickly do something knowing that you're about to get killed, either in the process of doing it or directly after doing it? Like, I was over here with the trigonometry meme, just like, what about here? I cannot. I can't do it. I'm not built for that kind of like mind deception. I'm the basic. I turn in a quest. I get another quest. I do it. I turn it in. Like that's as far as my brain goes. That's as far as it goes. I'm sorry. That's just me. But and then my friend does kiting a lot. So when we're farming for creatures, he'll have his higher tune and my little baby thing, and he's trying to teach me how to, you know, kite and figure out how to move on my keyboard so that I'm not immediately getting killed by these things. And I'm just like, this is a lot of work for just some extra EXP. Like, can I just kill one of these things instead of like 10 of them? I mean, is that an option? Classic WoW was way worse. I have screenshots of just skellies of hundreds of dead players trying to get. I can't. Basically, they all have to spawn at the same time, and then everyone runs for it. And odds are one person will make it. Gotta learn the kite, bruh. Or were you just standing still? It wasn't that I was standing still. I was moving backwards on my keyboard, and you don't move fast backwards. You just like walk. So he was like trying to teach me to like diagonally move and like move around the stuff, and like also use my combo well because I was a wizard. and I'm supposed to like freeze him to like slow him down, and then like attack him, and then like move, and then like attack him, and then like drink a potion, and then like attack him, and then like make some like water juice, and then like drink it, and then like I'm like, can I breathe? You don't strafe. How do you survive? If I wasn't strafing, I was dead. I'm just saying, I was dead. But yes, I've written all of like 3 sentences, so here we are. This is a long process. So he goes to talk about lore in relation to how this area was created. So the only important thing that y'all need to know about Purgatory, mouse turn like a boss. Oh, I don't know how to do that yet. I've been playing RPG styles for a while, and I don't know how to do the mouse turn. I know how to like, I don't know, I can't do it now, but like I know how to click things and like switch around stuff real quick, like. But yeah, no, I'm not the best at the mouse turn. Also, so tell me why my first dungeon experience wasn't even a dungeon experience. Like, I had my little gnome wizard, and he went into the dungeon, and it's a speed run, and I didn't know. I wasn't even part of this conversation. It was just like, boom, you better catch up. But wait, this is my first time in this dungeon. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. So he kept like map hacking or something. Like he would take all the things and then like jump off a cliff and like skip a bunch of the things. And then I happened to die at some point in this thing because as he's getting chased by a bunch of stuff, my little gnome feet are trying to keep up. And then like one of the 29 animal creature thingies that are chasing him hits me and I die. And our healer is just like healing him the whole way. Like, ooh, gotta keep the tank alive for this speed run. And I'm just like, bruh. So I die, I respawn. And then and my brain in its quickness is trying to figure out which part of the cliff he jumped off of to get to the part that I need to get to so that I'm with the rest of the party. Yeah, I can run back, but because he skipped part of the he skipped a very hefty portion of the dungeon. If I didn't jump off at that exact point, I would be gaining aggro from all the future monsters in this dungeon that he hadn't aggroed yet. I just jump into another group of mobs. No, that's not my job. I'm a wizard. I'm not built for hits. Oh my gosh. And my buddy, he was like, yeah, this is normal. And I was like, so y'all just don't dungeon anymore. y'all just skip to the end and get the EXP and redo this a bunch of times until you get the, I'm like, that's not how you play the game. But jump into another mob. I mean, that's what I think a part of it I was. Like, I don't even know if we got to a point to where when I died, I respawned at like a later date or something. I don't know if that's a thing, but I feel like that's kind of what happened. And then the boss died and the dungeon was over. And I don't know what happened. Any part of like, you could pay me a large sum of money to like tell me what we fought, and you would still have that large sum of money because I am the confusion. But yeah, like that's why, like, I know Kate, you didn't play Final Fantasy for that long, but that's why I like Final Fantasy so much, because it's those early dungeons are like babies. Like, it's like take it at your own pace, whatever. Even if you have, I've had it to where to a certain point, my tank just like decided to fuck right off. So it's like 2 DPS and a healer. And we beat the whole thing, like the whole dungeon, just ourselves. Like our tank's just like, I don't know what a tank stance is. This isn't my job, my problem. And we're like, bruh. Bruh. But yeah, that first dungeon you can get through with 2 DPS and a healer. Fun facts. I mean, it probably helps that I've run the dungeon a bunch, so I know like what triggers aggro from whatever, so like to not go out of our depths. But yeah, we beat that whole thing, and then we got to the boss, and the mechanic in that one is towards the end, if you're not killing the spawns, you're going to get spawned to death, and they're going to kill you before you can kill everything. So the thing is, you're supposed to like either interact with the stuff so that they don't, you know, spawn ads, or you kill the boss before the boss can kill all of you. So because we didn't have a tank, because we didn't have a dedicated aggro person, we knew, because the healer, because normally, this is a lot of things. Normally, if the tank is doing the tank's job, then you have the healer being able to heal the tank, and then the DPS can go off on either side to interact with the stuff if you're doing it by mechanic's sake. But being 2 DPS and a healer, and the DPS is getting hit hard enough by the boss that the tank or the healer has to heal them constantly. And then, oh, I know why we survived. I was the healer. Luckily, I was white mage, and those bitches never run out of mana. So I don't know what I would have done if we were something else. But it got to the point where the spawns, when they were coming, if we had to use our limit break and we had to kill the boss, but we had to focus mostly the boss, and then the spawns kept coming in, but I had to keep healing the person that had the most aggro, even though they were getting hit by all the spawns. And then in that last like ditch effort, we did the limit break, and then I had to like burst heal the person, because the next time that they got hit from the next spawn of things, it would have been more HP than they had, and I wouldn't be able to heal through it, and then it would have like split off and started killing me and then killing the other ad, and we would have to wipe and start over. But luckily, like that last hit with the limit break, we were able to do it, and I was just like, never again am I doing this. It wasn't fun, but we got through it, so here we are. Long story, too long, didn't read, we made it through. Pretty much. Never again. Never in my entire existence. Like, I've played through a lot of dungeons, like a lot of, you know, different mechanics, because as you get obviously higher in Final Fantasy, they expect you to remember all the mechanics they've already introduced to you, and then they start adding in more mechanics to where when they're just like popping stuff off, you're not really getting any like major delayed, you know, I'm about to hit here real quick stuff, because they expect you to just know. And then other things, other mechanics they've had to patch because people they were just wiping too much, they didn't know. They patched it to where now this ogre, which he used to be like the one-shot killer even for tanks. Like if tanks get hit by him, by the tank buster, it's like it's done. You're all dead. But his big swing for his mace wasn't advertised in an area of what its range was, and you just had to know if you had to be close to him or far enough away from him based off of one optional other dungeon that you could possibly have done before then. and it's only like it's not going to show you. The only way you know is through his foretelling of what ability he's about to use, and you have to memorize, is that a close ability or a far away ability, and you just gotta hope and pray that you pick right. But yeah, he used to wipe folks left and right. And then in this, before the new expansion came out, they patched it to where that wasn't a thing, and then now it like shows you what he's about to do. So I'm just like, but that dungeon is so old. That's like the first part of the game old, that like we all know us seniors, and then the sprouts that are just trying to get through playing the story, now they have a better survival rate because none of us are playing that dungeon anymore, and the only way we're gonna play it is if we do it in our daily, and that's random. So here we are. Progress for the sake of progress. So he continues on with this sentence. Our plane of existence that resides over a community of displaced people, created for those who have lost their way. Might edit that more descript later. But I can add on another sentence at least. In our plane of existence that resides over a community of displaced people, created for those who have lost their way home. I'm definitely gonna change that later. And then so he hasn't gone into the other parts of it yet, but he does soon. Okay, so I can talk about it a little bit more. This hidden oasis serves as the home for guardians who have the capabilities of jumping planes in hopes of saving worlds on the brink of destruction. Okie dokie, Katie. I will talk to you later, dear. New workouts. You're waiting for the gym to die out. All the resolution people. Oh no. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm starting to get a routine as well, but we'll see. Each generation training component task set for them by way of
Give me hiccups.
Let's see, gotta start somewhere. This is true. Thesaurus.com. Because I can't spell. Oh, I spelled it right? That's weird. Tell me about your routine on Discord. I'm interested. Stacks. Not that I'm judging you or anything, but are you drinking both coffee and an energy drink? Yes. This is true. Actually, you don't want to know what's in the energy drink. It's not just energy. Oh my goodness. It doesn't affect me. It's for taste. Okay, I changed my mind. I am judging. It's fine. Judgy DM knows how to take judgment. It's in my volistics. It's for the taste. I mean, I got coffee and I got my energy drink. And depending on if I want sweet or if I want robust, I'll pick up either or. And it's all subconscious. It's just like, my brain wants this right now. There's no pattern. A connected root system that I'm magically just shifting it. If I didn't hold up both at the same time, but yeah. Take care, Kate. La bad jeez. Okay. Bosom. I don't need no boomer tree telling me what to do. New mission, burn the elder tree. Oh my gosh. No. That's this tree right here is too important to burn. I mean, that's their ticket. Okay, maybe I worded it wrong. Each generation trained to form the trust set for them by way of the elder tree. I did word it right. Wrong. Sorry. For them. Guiding their paths as they traverse through the... That's better. Sacrifice it to the abyss. I'll hug the tree. All the more reason. Oh no. So yes, now it should read, each generation trained to perform the tasks set before them, guiding their paths as they traverse through the ethereal planes by way of the elder tree. There we go. That's way better. That makes it seem like a tree isn't talking to you like Pocahontas. This session's going a lot longer than I thought it was gonna go. Okay, what do y'all think the word counts at? Because that's a thing that we have to talk about. Georgia. And what was the font size? It's supposed to be 14. Y'all supposed to be able to see. There we go, that's better. What do y'all think the word count is? Where we at? Let's see. We are at 250. Okay, that's what Highness says. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Y'all better not be counting. 300. Ooh. So, spoiler, we are at 139 words. And I have to get to 550 words. I mean, note it, like, I haven't hit a stop yet because I'm, like, referring to and fro of the format and everything. So, we got to do this, like, a little less than 4 more times. It's fine, right? Because I still gotta talk about the Forgotten City of Exile. I still gotta talk about Diademia, which that's a whole thing in itself. And then this guy writing a whole ass dissertation. I can't. It's funny because it's true. Also, Barb Elf and Your Highness, thank you for the follows. I did not see those come in because I have alerts turned off like enough. Actually, I think there is a pattern. I drink the energy drink, and then while the sugar's like on my tongue still, I'll drink the coffee and it like clean slates it, and then I repeat. So I might be drinking it in order. I just don't. Like, I might get my feel of the energy drink and then cleanse it. Senpai finally notices me. I always notice you, Your Highness. It's my job. It's in my job description. It's like, notice Your Highness. Whatever he is doing, notice it. At all times. That doesn't sound in the slight bit creepy. Fine, because it does sound highly sus. I wouldn't use slightest. So I don't want to go into NPCs for that. Because that could be explored in the actual game. Pictures of time. So I have to go highlight this because it's important. And then I gotta type it in. There we go. There's like so many interwoven things. Oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. See if they have information that I forgot to post about. So, there's something important about all of this because it is connected to something else, which I'm gonna see if I open up another. Oh wait, I think if I open up this other one, which I can save this as premise campaign 3. Dawn of Diademia, Dusk of Accordia. There's invalid characters everywhere. You're an invalid character. Okay. I just need to open this, copy it, and then open that again. There we go. Then I can paste this literally anywhere. And I'll choose to paste it. Arguing with your computer, how are we? Okay. So now that that's there. Seasons always change. Not Kauai, Karari. Karari Peaks. So, for those that were here last month when we did our Spirits of Olan, Kauai. When we did our Spirits of Olan 4-shot, I guess, for the oh my gosh, my brain stopped working. For the fundraiser for why does my brain stop every time? But yeah, we did a fundraiser for Extra Life for Kids last month. That was a 4-part that took place in the Karari Peaks, called Spirits of Olan. And now you know that this area is in Purgatory, which is just a little, a little plot seed. No big deal. I mean, get a little something. And the plot thickens. Everything must be connected to everything. Yep. I don't think that's how you spell competing. I think there's 2 T's. Oh. It is 1 T. You go, subconscious. The roots of the elder tree hidden under every travesty that has befallen the universe. Why you come in at the elder tree like this, Highness? Like, what has this tree done for you besides provided you shade and comfort, and not shade in the sassy variety, but shade in, I'm telling you, don't trust the tree. I can't. I love the tree too. The elder tree is awesome. Have you ever come across a tree that could teleport, Highness? I think not. This elder tree must be sentient if it's such an ancient existence. I mean, I don't know if it's sentient or if it's connected to a higher source, but that could be something that's explored down the line. Did I? I did, didn't I? I did. There's no being who worships it, granting it faith. I think there are a few gods based within the tree, because there's a lot of different gods that kind of, or at least their followers, find the elder trees that are linked in their particular planes of existence sacred. So maybe if I add sacred to it. So yeah, they protect it that way. I don't know. Oh wow. Fun tree facts. Don't trust the tree. Oh no. Boulders and let me change that post Feywild now while it's on my brain. So okay. PE. Seems more fitting. Post eradication. I mean, technically Diademia was eradicated. We'll keep it for now. So it's 14. No, 14. Font and Georgia. So, I feel like I'm gonna keep doing this. Word count is at 181. We're not even at 200 yet. This place. We need to liberate those planes and allow what should have been to happen. Destruction is the natural course of time. The tree relies on the guardians to reverse the fate of those planes. So the elder tree is actually feeding off the existence of all existence in the multiverses. It's a cannibalistic tree. Down with the elder tree. This is why we can't have you. This is why we can't have you doing stuff, Highness. Making characters just showing up just to destroy trees. I feel like My palate's already cleansed, but I need to cleanse it again after speaking such blasphemy. Okay, so I've worked in Spirits of Elan so far, which was a keynote that I wanted to do. Next, I guess we can talk about the Forgotten City of Exile, because I feel like that's between Purgatory and the Forgotten City. Those are going to be two places that I hope the others have a chance to come back to frequently. So I want to give them some sustenance in that regard. If there are guardians, then there must be opposite organization. I mean, I'm sure there's probably somebody out there trying to get to Purgatory so that they can bring all the whole thing down, but that is what an entire campaign can be sourced over. Guardians think they are protecting time. Ha! We, the Omega, are the true protectors of time. Oh my gosh. True. Normally, I would back you up, Highness. However, the exiled gods are partly the reason why Purgatory needs to exist, because the reason they're called the gods of abandonment, the exiled gods, is because they interfered with the natural course that Diademia was going to go on. In the branch of godhood, you have your greater gods, your lesser gods, and other gods based on other things and all this other stuff. So the greater gods, when they first created Diademia, they kind of like imprinted themselves into the world. However, when the Triperian Empire came over and they tried to wage war with the people of Yvain, that's when things started to get a little spicy, because now the gods are like, people are, fighting wars and all of this, and they're taking away from time that could be spent worshiping us, essentially. So they decided to create the what was the first campaign's game was called? Let me see if I can find the actual term. They decided to create the Catalyst games, and in that process, once a year, a Catalyst had to be sacrificed from both the Triperian side and the people of Yvain. The people of Yvain are obviously the original inheritors of Diademia. And if they didn't sacrifice somebody that the gods chose, then there would be hell to pay. So normally, somebody gets chosen at random, and it's just okay, cool, fine. Go die for a greater cause so that we can continue to wage our insignificant wars. But during the Catalyst games, it caused kind of like a peace treaty between the Triperian Empire, who now had other things like gods to worry about, and when the DM tries to ruin your fan fiction, and the Uvain people, who also basically now they had to focus their attention on the gods, whereas before they were focusing on, you know, self-preservation and world domination, however you want to put it. But as we saw in Tales of Diademia Season 1, it wasn't until the daughter of the king of Triperion and then Mio, who is a fallen Aasimar, were both selected that things started to get spicy. More so on Hope's case, which was the daughter, because now the king's like, oh, it's not just some random grunt that I'm sacrificing, it's an actual, like, relative of mine? Like, no. So, spoilers, obviously Hope ends up getting sacrificed and sacrificed a daughter. But she gets possessed by the goddess Shar, who now has a hand in playing with the wheels of fate. So she, from the party that was present, forced them to kind of like fight to the death. And from them, she drew a power source from each one present, and she created the Catalyst Orbs, which, for those that don't know, were in Campaign 1, and these orbs of power can be very... Did I say sacrifice the daughter? I mean worship the daughter. The Catalyst Orbs are very, very powerful, as we found out in Campaign 1, when they have the ability to like teleport people and do a bunch of other freaking OP magic crap. But yeah, those in possession of these orbs had like essentially the power of a god at their fingertips. So when things like that started happening and the greater gods are kind of like influencing how Diademia can move or progress from that forward, things had to change. And then because things kept escalating, you get the darkness from Queen Midna's whole thing starting. You got the Blood Wolf King curse happening. You have all these other factors also teeter-tottering and playing effect in another otherwise normal world, that now things become a bit more difficult because you can't... You kind of have to start from scratch at a certain point. You got to start from scratch because like too many things are affecting Diademia for Diademia to continue on the path that it's quickly... Like you had warlocks that were time jumping all willy-nilly. You had... Anybody that's watched anything Diademia related in the past year knows that like too much tomfoolery is happening and none of it's being checked. Like none of it. So why can't I destroy the world? I mean, technically Diademia does get destroyed and other worlds get destroyed based on other power figures trying to gain more power. Which is why you need people like the Guardians to go out and try and level the playing field, or at least prevent these catastrophic events from just easily happening because someone's just going in through the back door. So the Guardians are going to go through the other back door and they're going to be like, haha, no, says the person that wants to rein in this easy power source. You will have to fight for it. So yeah, that's kind of how the Guardians operate in this grander scheme of things. Going through the back door, huh? I cannot with you right now. Let's see. The Forgotten City of Axel also harbors these, although not to a competitive state. Gotta go back to my other notes. Where are we? Ew, I feel like I'm not gonna get through all this today. I'm just. We're not even at. Okay, we'll try and get to like 250 words or something, and then we'll call it a wrap. And then I'll take a nap before. So that's like 54 more words or something. What is happening with the music? It's happy, euphoric music. I'm just putting that out there. I see the Guardians are more like peacekeepers of the multi. Yeah, like they're not trying to outrightly shift the balance of power. They're more in tune with trying to equalize it, because the vulnerabilities in these planes is that people that have the capability to plane hop or find access to them either through powerful items or things like that are utilizing these weaknesses to gain further power and further influence in areas that they typically wouldn't have power or influence. And when it came down to Diademia, like the reason it got wiped is because once they started, tracing back where all these power sources were coming from, the one planet that was giving off the most bad juju vibes was Diademia. And where normally the Guardians could go in, which they're going to try here shortly to send some people to hopefully stop a big thing, the Guardians are going to realize it's out of their hands, and then we, the Chaos Circus, have no rules, no morals, no sanity. They just want to do... Who do the Guardians think they are? Who gives them the right to police the multiverse? Ooh, indeed. We'll find out starting in May. Maybe not in May, but we'll find out when these campaigns start. Like, who are these higher people pulling the strings? Like, who are they? What do they do? What are they after? May? Yes, Highness. This stuff won't happen till May. We still got stuff to wrap up. We gotta wrap up Tales of Diademia. We gotta wrap up Diademia Aftermath. We got to do our one shot for the Return to the Feywilds, which is an 8-shot part. I don't know why I said one shot. It takes place over 8 episodes, which also encompasses The Quiet Year, which is going to show how Diademia is recreated from scratch. I mean, and that's a lot of stuff to do between now and May. I don't know about you, but it gives me time to catch up at least. Yes, so that's the other thing. As these campaigns are wrapping up, I say wrapping up loosely, they're changing exponentially. Like, most of them are outright ending. As these campaigns are concluding and we start to focus on singularity concepts, so like, I would imagine when we're starting to do the Return to Feywilds, because I want to plan it like Exandria Unlimited, where it's this limited series, 8 episodes, and then after that we can go kind of right into the release of Dawn of Diademia and Dusk of Accordia, respectively. During that time, when like Return to the Feywilds is going, it'll be prime time for everyone to kind of watch season 1 of Tales of Diademia, watch season 2, and then watch season 1 of Diademia Aftermath, which I don't know if you all saw, as of I think 2 weekends ago, we are all caught up. Either 1 or 2 weeks. Let me look at the date, because I was crying in the chat for Queen and them. I was like, how many more videos do I have to upload? There's so many. I was like legit crying. Okay, as of December 30th, we are all caught up with everything that Dungeon Mechanics, Judgy DM, FNH Paul, any of our stuff, any of our shows that have been out so far, like Legends of Noia, Tales of Diademia, Diademia Aftermath, all the Curse of Strahd, all the Meanwhile in Waterdeep, all the shows that are in the bottom area here are now on our YouTube. So just go to YouTube, either click the link, which is this? Is this a thing? Yeah. Either go there and follow Dungeon Mechanics and just start watching. We even have it in playlist form, so you can just go and watch whatever you need to do. I'm thinking about doing like the Marvel thing where we do the watching order, because Tales of Diademia and Diademia Aftermath, at a certain point, it's like a watching order. You gotta like watch one episode before you watch the other episode. Otherwise, it's probably not gonna make much sense, but you can still watch it out of context and be as confused as everybody else that's in the episode at the time that didn't know what else was going on. Like, it's crazy. But now on YouTube, we have all of those episodes available for you to watch so that you can catch up. Like, it's a lot of hours of content, and you get to see our progression of quality over quantity. Especially for those that were there at the beginning, like our early streams were hot fire mess. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't know what full on streaming was, and I was just like piecing it together, and I was doing everything the complete hard way. I didn't know Theater of the Mind was like an easier way to tell the story. Like, I can't. But some of those early episodes are like hilarious because we don't have that filter yet where we're like, can we say this yet? But I'm just saying. But yeah, trying to catch up on all of that, and then hopefully all of these lore drop videos that I do where I kind of like sprinkle in some more campaign 1 stuff, because obviously campaign 1 we weren't streaming then, so it's all in my brain and the players' brains that were at my house at the time. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happened in that campaign that a lot of us don't talk about because of it happening in that campaign as it did. A lot of people died. 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 We'll just put it that way. So yeah, I want to see where the story goes. How's it going, G-Dubs? Welcome to the chat, my friend. Did a lot of people die? I think a lot of people died. If I had to guess, on like a scale to a lot of people died. They were, because I don't want to outright say they were murder hobos in that whole party, but just to put it into perspective, we had at one point, I think 3 rogues. Just to put it in perspective. Murder hobos, I mean. So, okay, so tell me why. You know how when your DM is generous enough to tell you what kind of story you're going into and like what to expect? Tell me why when I drop the plot. Okay, I'm gonna read it because I think I still got this Joker. Blood Wolf King. I'm pretty sure I still got it. I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna tell you what people submitted for character sheets like right after. So do I have to go back to, I feel like I wrote it out. You know when you feel like you did something and then you turn out that you never did it, and then there we go. I did write it expose them. Haiku Sid. So this is the first campaign premise. It was titled Vengeance of the Blood Wolf King, and I'm gonna blow this up because my eyes, they ain't what they used to be. I'm wearing glasses and they ain't what they used to be. So but yeah, this is what I gave him. So, as with many tales that lead to this type of dread, our story begins with love. King Alsatian was due to be wed to the beautiful Lady Rona. This is before we knew about the Rona, so keep that in mind. Your Highness gets me. My science is in milk now. Oh my god, what is happening in the chat? Okay. Lady Rona. Okay. It was said that her beauty far surpassed any other maiden in the land. She had a smile that would light up the darkest heart, and a fiery passion that made her quite the formidable diplomat. Her words served to soothe heavy hearts and show a promise of peace across the war-torn lands. Lady Rona, however, would never achieve these armistice due to the following plots in the making. See, King Alsatian was not a generous man or person. He did not believe that amity was something that could be achieved by mere words. He instead believed that a sharp blade could do more than any talking could acquire for less the efforts. The king was not immune to Lady Rona's charm, however, for even she soon proved to peel away at the stone heart King Alsatian bore for more his entire life. Coming from wealthy parents of indistinguishable resonance, he never was given a loving hand growing up and was shown that strength would solve any measure of doubt, which anybody that knows who his parents are, Vladimir Riviere, aka Bastin Alsatian, and Lady fucking what's her name? Lady. Oh, that's gonna bother me. I gotta look up in my characters real quick. Hold on a second. Lady Beatrix, also known as Lady. It's fine when you make a character and she has like 12 names. Lady Arcadia, Mesme Tifla, Lady Arcadia Beatrix. There we go. The Blood Wolf Queen, essentially. That's who his parents were. The Blood Wolf Queen, and then the freaking reincarnated brother to the person that's the main lead wizard magic user in the Triperian Empire. Like, what kind of parents did you have growing up? Dim names, though, right? Stoneheart, coming from wealthy parents, blah blah blah. Growing up. Okay. On the night of their fated wedding, King Alsatian awaited to bestow his heart to the only woman he had ever come to love his entire life. Possibly the only person he had ever loved his entire life? Okay. Fate, regrettably, had another plan. Lady Rona was encountered in her dressing chambers by a masked assailant. He was a thief, a common man, sent with only one request, that a handful of gold would secure, to kill Lady Rona before she would have the opportunity to unite the land in an unwavering show of force. This thief did not know who Lady Rona was, what she was capable of changing, and with the slip of a blade, he ended her life before it had truly began. So, major plot for this whole thing is that you have the Triperian Empire and the people of Yvain at constant discourse throughout the existence of the Triperian Empire coming to Diademia. That's just how you do. And the only way that was going to ever change was by now. He's not even like true blood Triperian, but now King Alsatian, because now he's king, plot twist, Vladimir kills the king and becomes king because he's like next to. Anyways, now you have the king of technically whatever the Triperian force, whatever it is, at his disposal, and you have a lady, Lady St. Cloud. Well, one of the Lady St. Clouds. We find out, spoiler, in literally the first episode, she has a twin sister. So, Lady Rona, who not only is very beautiful and very charismatic, but she has diplomatic skills, which would have been imperative to sealing any doubt or misreads that would have happened if the two of them got married. There would have been like peace throughout the land, you know, your fairy tale happy ending, because now you have a figure out there who can be the voice of the people, who can get all of those misdeeds heard and fixed and like changed on a better scale. Anyways, she's dead. So, word of Lady Rona's death came about with a series of panic, because now people are like, okay, they just killed. Not lords and ladies are like the next best thing to kings and queens. Lords and ladies is what the Yvain people had. They didn't have kings and queens of their lands. They had lords and ladies that got together and they made diplomatic decisions in a peaceful variety all throughout the land of Yvain, all throughout Diademia, all throughout. And then Triperian Empire came and they're like, we're here to start war. We don't care about your freaking land. We're here to get all your resources. Blah, 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 blah. Basic, too long, didn't read, recap. So now you have this lady dead. But news of her death came with a series of panic. Many were unsure of how to break the news to the king, because, you know, they're going to be like, you're taking too long to put on your dress, ma'am. Are you okay? Although his faithful servant Gast took to the unsettling news and informed King Alsatian that his bride-to-be was no more. This drove a rage, a flood of hatred that seemed to intensify with every passing second. The king would not rest until he found who was responsible for Lady Rona's death. He sent his guards to every waking pub, tavern, guild, shop, merchant, you name it. He was... I wonder if I put that in after hearing the beans, greens, potatoes. I think I put that in there after hearing that. He was prepared to go to war if he had to. He would avenge the love of his life if it took his very last breath to do so. Years passed and there were still no signs of the thief that performed the deed, nor any leading clues of who was responsible for hiring them in the first place. In the place of this empty loss, many people lost their lives, as the king would rather rule unbridled discourse than take a person's word that they were innocent. There seemed to be no limit to what his madness would or would not do in order to find answers. People began to panic under the heavy foot of the king's knights and his royal bloodhounds. As the body tolls racked up, there seemed to be a new dark age spreading across the land as the Bloodwolf King exacted his revenge. Now tell me, when the person that killed his wife was a rogue, why you want to make a rogue in this campaign? Just F&Gs. Like, why? Would that be a class that you think you might be able to get away with? So, I had 3 rogues. I had, I think, 7 characters in that first part. I had 3 rogues. I had a barbarian, a fighter. We had a wizard for that first session. We had a sorcerer. We had, I feel like I'm forgetting people. We might have had 1 or 2 others, but later we lost the wizard. We picked up for like one round a druid. We lost her. Actually, I ended up reusing her later as another big bad. We picked up a paladin and a cleric and a bard. We picked up the bard in like the second episode. So out of like those 10, and then we also Lady St. Cloud, which was the twin sister of Lady Rona, was also like a reoccurring NPC, and she was a cleric. So we had a lot of players, and we had a lot of chaos, and then eventually we lost one of the rogues, so it kind of panned out. But like when it came to like rogue interaction, like if you were a rogue out in plain sight, like you weren't having a good day. Like I'm pretty sure I introduced one of the rogues as being like interrogated by some of the guards because they're like, you're a rogue. Are you the rogue that killed the queen? Or like the queen to be? And she's like, no. And they're like, we don't believe you. We're going to take you back. So then the other people had to like intimidate and persuade that she wasn't a rogue. She was just like some other person. And like, luckily they made good on the checks and the intimidation from a half orc and a dragonborn to just regular human guards. You know, you take what you can. Anti-rogue discrimination. Yes, it was very anti-rogue. Very heavy anti-rogue. But so plot T, plot T, I think that's the thing. Turns out the rogue that was hired to kill Lady Rona was the ex-lover to the bard that was the NPC in their party because they didn't have a healer for the longest. And then they found that out later. And then they were going to kill the bard, but then they realized the bard was like double crossing and like not really, you know, doing anything. But like, you know, you can't choose your exes. But so let's make a rogue. Yeah, like that's what was happening. There was like 3 rogues, and I'm just like, this isn't the campaign for you. I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, it was a hot fire mess for a hot minute. Like not gonna even color shade that any. It was just like, yeah. So, and then even more T to the TT is that the person who hired the assassin in the first place was none other than, you might have guessed it, King Alsatian's father, Bastin Alsatian. And then they found that out in a trip to Fort Demon's Creek, where half of the party, after using one of those catalyst orbs, was split transferred because it's kind of like you were thinking of 2 different places at once, and like half the people went on the ethereal plane, and then the other half just like appeared in Sage Mist City, which is where Rise of Sage Mist, the show, the stream that we do, it takes place. Like Sage Mist Academy is in Sage Mist City of Sage Mist. Who would have thought? But yeah, as that's all happening and the crazy stuff is taking place, they come across an ethereal trapped Bastin Alsatian who tells him that he had to kill Lady Rona because if they would have got married, like, it wouldn't have been good. Like, people would have thought it would have been good, but it wouldn't have been good. Like, I'm over here supposed to be writing 50 more words, and I'm over here going into complete details about Sage Mist City. Who would have thunk? Yeah. So that's my life, currently and presently and future me. So there's a lot of stuff that happened in that first campaign that we just don't talk about. Or I like mention every once in a while. They're like, oh yeah, that did happen. Like when they were at the Sage Mist Academy and the fighter Dragonborn like decapitated like 90% of the student body because they were in a possessive state that was trying to summon some evil force. And the only solution the Dragonborn thought was to, let me kill some kids real quick. It was bad. It was so bad. Like, I can't. I'm like, you're gonna, okay, I guess you are. I was like, they're still screaming. Like, you gotta kill a lot more before it was stop. Now I'm mad that wasn't streamed. I mean, we got some good stuff streamed, like when Grandma was yeeted like 2 blocks down the street as catapult fodder. I mean, rip Grandma, that's still a thing. Dungeon mechanics. The more you know. I remember Grandma. Rip Grandma. Everybody should remember Grandma. That's your homework. If you don't know what it is, go through our YouTube, find the episode in Meanwhile in Waterdeep, and find out which episode Grandma died, and pay your respects. Pay your respects up in this house. And their grandson came looking for Grandma, and they had to play it off like they didn't, just brutally. Oh my gosh. Y'all, we done did some stuff. We done. You have a dog? Yes, I do. She is being good for once. So. That's new. That's not the tea, but that's the tea right now. You know what I'm saying? The energy drink is my life. So, folks, I think I am going to continue writing this week, and then continue writing the other one, and then possibly, I don't know if I have time to do any more of those. No, not like write, but like do another dungeon talk, because I think the rest of my week's taken. The seat's taken. But I will definitely try to do more of these dungeon talks. I actually kind of wanted to pitch the idea to Queen and Paul about kind of changing the dynamic of dungeon talk so that all of the DMs, I feel like I'm saying like a Humpty Dumpty sentence, but it's not a Humpty Dumpty sentence. All of the DMs that are out there can kind of all of the DMs can kind of take dungeon talks into their own bosom and either do like lore drops of their own or invite people on to like talk about stuff, or invite players to talk about stuff, like whatever they want to do for their specific dungeon talks. Like, I want the concept, it's loosely podcast based, but I want it to like encompass a lot more things than just what happened last episode on Tales of Diademia. Like, I think it has the potential to be just dungeon mechanics podcast. But yeah, we will continue. What is this music right now? We're gonna skip, and we're gonna skip again. Now all these are happy. We can be hopeful. This ain't hopeful. This is waiting. What's hopeful about waiting for the song to play? There we go. That's some actual lyrics. So, I wasn't going to say anything, but that music choice, it's on, I just have like a category up, which I think is just fantasy music playing or something. I don't know. I didn't streamline it. So the thing about Epidemic Sound is you can either just like search for phrases, search for things, and it'll just give you everything related to that phrase or thing. Or you can tailor it. You can actually like download the songs and make like your own playlist. And then when you're doing like stream sessions or whatever, you can play from a certain group of music if you want that aesthetic feel. But yeah, might have thought though. But yeah, so I will continue to work on this throughout the week. I am going to try and get some rest. Oh, that's pretty dope. Yeah, it's literally a life changer. I'm not gonna tell you how many songs I've downloaded myself or looked up on Apple Music, because I'm stupid and I also have Apple Music because, you know, I gotta listen to music that are songs specifically from Epidemic Sound, because they got some fire music out there. You guys into electric house music? I'm just saying, it's got you covered. I'm sure there's country and other things out there as well, but as far as my choices of search engine thingies. Anyways, I'm not going to keep all of you. Thank you, everybody, those 8 people, 10 people who followed recently, Your Highness included. I will look at the calendar real quick, because as I said before, I think we are postponing the Quiet Year, even though that's not streamed right now, so even if we did it, you wouldn't know until we actually did the other thing to where you would see if it's... Anyways, the next streamed thing will probably be Tales of Diademia, and that's not this Saturday, but it will be the following Saturday. So be sure to look out for that. Hopefully we'll be able to do Diademia Aftermath, which I think starts weekly. However, it's going to be hour sessions, so keep that in mind. But we'll do hour sessions until we wrap that up in May, or like the end of May. I don't know, somewhere around that time. We're trying to wrap up everything around the same time, debut month period time, so I'm not doing like 700 sessions. And then hopefully Rise of Sage Mist, we're going to be doing pre-records on that, so get looking for a lot of more content from us. We're trying to restructure it a little, give people a little bit more free time so that they don't have to worry about, you know, am I on this week, am I off this week, like what's happening. But yeah, look forward to all the future things on Dungeon Mechanics, as well as all the new shows, because G-Dubs is in a new show. Bedlam Province dropping the T. Hit up the teaser trailer on the YouTube. Just saying, that's gonna be fire. Oh hi. Awkward clip. Oh no. But yes, we got so many shows. Tea been dropped. I done dropped so much tea today. I mean, I'm not a chamomile drinker, but that might be chamomile on you. Just saying. Just dropping it. Actually, I am a chamomile drinker. I'm lying. I drink all the tea. I also spill all the tea. I'm the tea connoisseur. But yes, Tales of Diademia is probably going to be the next thing we have streamed on the show, session, channel thing. So look forward to that. Tales Diademia Aftermath, Legends of Noia. Trying to think next month. I don't think we have anything new debuting next month, but next month we'll probably be bringing back the pre-records on a bi-weekly schedule for Rise of Sage Mist. What else? I'm trying to give y'all all the stuff just so y'all have it, but you know where to hit us up. We are on the Discord like 24/7. There's people on the Discord now playing Ark, and I'm pretty sure Paul is streaming Ark. So if we deuce out of here and he's still streaming, we're probably going to hit him up if he doesn't hit us up first for ending his session and trying to stream us. So whatever. If you have not followed FNH Paul, be sure to go do that. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Just go follow him. Same for Queen Corby, Super Dog 18. That's dog, like, you know, with the W. Also, the Lady Live with underscores in between. Like, the Dungeon Mechanics are all out here doing their own thing and also getting together and doing some other things. Like, we are a community of people that love fucking doing stuff with each other. So, hit up our Discord if you have not already. I know there's some new people out there, but we got games. We just added in the Pokemon game, and that's like straight up fire. Like, if you don't know what nostalgia is, if you don't know what your childhood memories look like, be sure to hit us up on the Discord. We got so much stuff. And we got it tailored, so like if you don't want the Discord to show everything, you can like customize it to only show the things that you want it to show. So that's also a thing. So hit us up, we will see you next time. We love you. I don't know what else to do. We're gonna probably try and raid Paul. I'm trying to raid him before. Yes, Dave, you missed it. I talked about so much tea, spilling stuff, but this will be on YouTube. I'm gonna export it right after. If you haven't seen it now, you can either watch the VOD later, or you can go on YouTube when it is uploaded. It will also ping on the Discord. I don't know what else to say. Hi Salty, hi everybody, bye Salty, bye everybody. And yeah, we're gonna rate Paul. So if you have subscribed to us either through Prime, through Twitch, you should have access to our emotes. And one of those emotes should be a raid wrench, because we're maintainers up in this piece and we use wrenches to fix stuff. And our raid wrench is spelt with a W, cause why the freak not? Hit up those raid wrenches when we go into FNH Paul's thingamapoo. Also, if you have questions about anything that I've talked about today or future things, just hit me up. I am almost always available. Almost always. The only time I'm not is when I'm briefly sleeping for like the 2 minutes in the day that I sleep. But, you know, I gotta keep up appearances and not be a full-on robot. So here we are, about to raid. You will soon not hear my lovely voice. FNH Paul. Paul is still playing Ark. He is testing out. We are soon to be streaming, I think, on the Dungeon Mechanics Ark Survival Evolved, with all of us kind of role-playing as Ark characters. So if that's something that you like in your tea during the day, he is playtesting it to make sure that if he streams it, it won't lag or anything like that. I'll probably pitch some ideas, but essentially, yeah, go in, hit him with those raid wrenches. Have a nice day. Have a nice rest of your week, in case I don't hear from you, but I'm pretty sure I hit up all y'all, so, you know, I'm just gonna stop talking and let you listen to some music for a second, but we're gonna raid, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye.